Deep in the heart of South America, a blackwater tributary winds through the endless green canopy. Down here, the air is heavy with mist. Silence is not emptiness. It is tension waiting to break. Beneath the surface, a giant rests. Coiled among the roots lies the green anaconda, the heaviest snake on earth. Her skin is a masterpiece of camouflage, olive green with black spots, designed to vanish into the murky shadows. She begins to move, not with speed, but with the unstoppable force of a glacier. Muscles ripple under wet scales. Eyes and nostrils break the surface. Minimal exposure. She is a submarine periscope scanning for targets. Above, a toucan hops carelessly. The jungle is full of life, oblivious to the death watching from below. Turtles bask in the sun, a peaceful scene, a deceptive calm before the storm. She submerges. Her bulk displaces the water without a sound. She ignores the turtles. She hunts bigger game. The dark shadow passes beneath them. They are too small to justify the energy of a strike. On the bank, an agouti senses the shift. Paranoid instincts save lives in the Amazon. It flees. The eye of the predator, a vertical pupil, cold and calculating. A biological computer processing movement. The tongue flicks, tasting the air. The Jacobson's organ decodes the chemical signature of prey. In the distance, a prize awaits. A herd of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, grazing on the flats. Target acquired. She sinks deep into the channel. The approach must be unseen, unheard, unfelt. The family is cautious, but the young are playful. Innocence dances on the edge of a knife. A hoatzin rustles the bushes. A false alarm. The herd relaxes. A fatal mistake. She navigates the weed forest, parting the vegetation like a ghost. Water ripples near the bank. A crab scuttles for cover. The predator is close. She anchors her tail. A living spring coils tight, storing kinetic energy for the launch. A thirsty snout lowers to drink. The water is a perfect mirror, betraying nothing. Inches away, the surface tension breaks. The head rises, slick with oil. Strike, a blur of motion. 100 kilograms of muscle launches with the speed of a cobra. Impact. Jaws lock onto the shoulder. The water explodes, shattering the peace of the afternoon. The coil. In seconds, she wraps the prey. 1 loop, 2 loops. The trap snaps shut. The struggle is desperate. The capybara fights gravity and muscle, dragging mud in a futile attempt to escape. Panic erupts. The herd scatters, splashing through the shadows to reach the safety of the grass. Birds take flight. Feathers drift down onto the battlefield. Muscles bulge. With every breath the prey exhales, the snake tightens, a mechanical, relentless vice. Kicks grow weaker. The grip is absolute. The fight moves underwater. Bubbles rise as the mammal is pulled into the serpent's domain. The light fades from the eye. Terror turns to nothingness. Silence returns. The ripples fade. She holds the squeeze, ensuring the heart has stopped. She inspects her prize, tongue flicking over wet fur, locating the head to begin the consumption. Survivors huddle in the brush, wet, shivering, watching the river with fearful eyes. A caracara screams, hoping for scraps, but the anaconda shares nothing. She drags the carcass deep, hiding her meal from jaguars and thieves. The The jaw unhinges, elastic ligaments stretch to accommodate the massive meal. The slow walk of the jaws, engulfing the prey inch by inch. The sun sets, she vanishes into the roots. The river flows on, indifferent to the death it holds. Elsewhere, a caiman basks, armored and confident, soaking up the heat. But a shadow approaches. The scent of reptile draws the giant snake in. The caiman senses it, the high walk, alert posture. He knows he is not alone. Eruption. She launches her entire upper body, looping the caiman in a chaotic tangle. He snaps back, teeth grate against tough scales. She ignores the pain, focused on the wrap. The stranglehold snout clamped shut, rear legs bound. The predator becomes the prey. They roll into the water, a ball of writhing muscle and mud. She squeezes the armored belly. Pressure designed to stop blood flow, not just breathing. Her eyes are cold. Positioned safely away from the claws, she tightens her grip. The thrashing slows. Claws scratch uselessly. The lights are going out. A king vulture watches, the shadow of death cast over the dying reptile. One last death roll. She rides it perfectly, maintaining the constriction without loosening a millimeter. He goes limp, she holds on. Patience is the key to killing dangerous game. She inspects the armor. Swallowing a caiman is a challenge of spikes and ridges. She drags him into the reeds. The size difference is staggering. Other caimans watch. There is no loyalty here, just relief that it wasn't them. Alignment is crucial. She must swallow it, straight to avoid the legs getting stuck. Skin stretches to impossible limits. Connective tissue turns white under the strain. Time passes. The tail disappears. She is now full, vulnerable, and immobile. Dusk falls. The sounds of the day fade into the insect chorus of the night. Bloated and heavy, she basks on the bank. Digestion consumes all her energy. Flies buzz. She ignores them. She is in a food coma. He approaches. She hisses, a deep warning, but she cannot strike quickly. He swipes at her tail, testing her defenses. She recoils sluggishly. She makes a choice, sliding awkwardly down the mud towards the safety of the water. Denied, the cat snarls. The river has protected its queen. Seasons change. River levels drop. The dry season approaches. Digestion complete, she sheds her skin, rubbing against rock to peel away the old. Fresh, glossy scales emerge, a symbol of renewal. She moves with new purpose, leaving a chemical trail. She is not hunting for food, but for a mate. A smaller male tastes the pheromones. He moves with urgency. Another joins the trail. The males converge, drawn by an irresistible scent. The queen waits in the shadows, colossal and passive. The first male arrives, tickling her spine with vestigial spurs to stimulate her. A breeding ball forms. 5 males tangling around one female, a chaotic dance of life. A Medusa's head of coils, indistinguishable bodies, wrestling for genetic legacy. They roll in the mud. Silt clouds the water. She breathes indifferent to the struggle. The future of the species is secured. The ball disentangles. Exhausted males drift away, leaving the matriarch alone. She lies still. She is now a vessel for the next generation. The landscape browns, water recedes. The drought grips the Amazon. The lake shrinks to puddles. Trapped fish splash in the sludge. She shares her pool with storks, a crowded oasis in a drying world. The heat is intense. She buries herself in the mud to stay cool. A vulture checks for death. She remains motionless, a master of energy conservation. A snap, warning. The bird jumps back. The giant is very much alive. Peccaries arrive to water, noisy and aggressive neighbors. A hoof steps on the coil. The mud erupts as she shifts. Panic ensues. She rises into an S-curve, ready to strike. A standoff in the muck. They leave. She lowers her head. Fighting is a risk she cannot take while pregnant. Night brings relief. The moon rises. It is time to move. Overland travel, a rare sight. The aquatic giant slithers across the dry forest floor. Army ants swarm. She speeds up, avoiding the biting carpet. She climbs over fallen trees, a heavy rope draped over the bark. An ocelot watches, keeping a respectful distance from the moving shadow. The smell of water. She reaches the main channel, a slide down the sandbank. She curls among the roots, safe to wait out the drought. The sky turns purple. Thunderheads stack high. Lightning cracks the sky. The deluge begins. Sheets of rain blur the world. Water rises. The Agopo is born. The forest floor becomes a seabed. Fish swim between trees. A surreal underwater orchard. She is in her element, swimming high in the canopy with three-dimensional freedom. Sunlight returns. God rays pierce the kikalaed water. A marsh deer wades through, struggling in the deep water, isolated and exposed. From above, a trail of disturbed water. From below, a silhouette against the sun. She uncoils from a branch. Gravity aids her silent slide toward the prey. She surfaces behind hyacinths, measuring the distance. A dangerous target with lethal kicks. The deer freezes. Ears rotate. A splash, or a predator. Ambush. A strike from the side with sledgehammer force. The deer rears, trying to trample, but she wraps the chest, a heavy anchor dragging it down. The fight moves underwater. The deer gasps for air, but is pulled deeper. Churning silt, she uses the water to drown the prey while crushing it. A dual kill. Spasms cease. Bubbles stop. She has one. Piranhas circle, but they dare not challenge her. They wait for scraps. She drags the carcass, a meal to sustain her for months. A blue morpher flutters by, beauty contrasting with violence. In a secluded lagoon, the exhausted mother anchors herself. The time has come. Birth. A membrane sac emerges. Inside, a fully formed life. The baby breaks free. A miniature replica taking its first breath. A mass birth. The water fills with 40 wriggling neonates. No maternal instinct. She turns and swims away. They are on their own. They disperse rapidly. Hiding is their only hope. They are snacks now, not kings. A peacock base strikes. One is swallowed whole. Survival rate is less than 1%. An egret stabs the water. Another is taken. A survivor hides in a curled leaf, holding perfectly still. A baby caiman swims past. Future enemies, currently equals in vulnerability. Night falls. Darkness offers some cover. The first hunt, stalking a tree frog with slow-motion stealth. Strike, a clumsy constriction, but effective. The frog is swallowed. Energy to grow, energy to survive the root. An owl swoops. Another baby is gone. The numbers game ensures the species survives. Vines grow. Time passes. The survivors get bigger. Morning mist. The cycle turns another wheel. Night, deep in the jungle. Gothic and heavy. The hungry female prowls. Heat pits scanning the dark. A smaller male enters her territory, unaware of the danger. She detects him. Body language shifts from courtship to predation. Cannibal strike. Violence against her own kind. He thrashes, but she is a titan. The size difference is fatal. She coils. Her superior mass suffocates him. Her eye is emotionless. Nature is utilitarian. He is protein. The moon passes. She consumes him. Ruthless efficiency. Daybreak. A sloth hangs high above. It needs to cross the river. A risky climb down. It enters the water, swimming with a clumsy breaststroke. From below, a defenseless ball of fur. An anaconda lifts its head, eyes fixing on the silhouette. Rising like a submarine, trajectory aligned. The sloth swims calmly, unaware of the growing shadow. Breach. Jaws clamp the shoulder. A rare cry. then silence. Underwater struggle, weak swipes against coils. Anchored to a log, air bubbles rise. The river hides the death. Chaos breaks the silence. Giant otters, the river wolves, are hunting. The alpha crunches a piranha. Intelligent, aggressive eyes. An anaconda attempts to cross, swimming deep to stay undetected. The alpha periscopes, smelling the musk. Alarm bells ring. A scream. The pack enters combat mode. Military coordination. They dive in formation. Surrounded. Speed versus bulk. Hit and run, nipping the tail, biting the side, exhausting the giant. Defensive ball, hiding the head. The otters try to force an opening. She spots a fortress, a tangle of thorny roots nearby. A desperate burst of speed, a final bite to the tail. She squeezes into the crevices. The otters are too bulky to follow. Safe. They leave, resurfacing to groom and celebrate. Inside the roots, she heals, waiting for the wolves to move on. Late afternoon, the sky paints itself violet. Storms brew on the horizon, the vastness of the Amazon. A red howler monkey roars, signaling the end of day. A spider web holds a drop of water, delicate beauty amidst brutality. She emerges cautious, tasting the water. The coast is clear. Warming on the mud, battle-scarred but majestic, the queen still stands. The sun vanishes. The indigo night takes over. She slides into the black water, a phantom blending with the shadows. Bioluminescence creates a ghostly trail behind her. A bat flies close. She ignores it, focused on larger game. A jaguar drinks. She watches. A moment of tension, but she chooses peace. He backs away. Even the king respects the queen of the river. The ancient eye widens, a gaze that has seen millions of years. Flashes of violence, reminders of the raw power in those coils. A baby catches a fish. The legacy continues. Under the full moon, the river looks like a giant silver snake. She coils around a tree trunk, becoming part of the river itself. A single ripple expands, fading into nothingness. Absolute silence. The endless canopy stretches to the horizon. The scale is overwhelming. She sinks. The river keeps its secrets,